Hi, this video is to explain a little bit more about IB scoring boundaries. So our learning targets are I can explain IB scoring boundaries to students and parents, and I can find the resources I need when I have questions about it. Now, while IB scoring boundaries won't come into effect until the final score at the end of a course, it's important to keep these in mind as we continue to learn and grow in our IB scoring. So remember that you have 4 criteria in your subject area, and throughout the year, you'll be giving formative and summative assessments on these criteria. Now, one of the things that IB demands is that we give a summative assessment twice on each of those 4 criteria. And remember that when we're giving those assessments, students are scored from 0 to 8. So while we're scoring our criterion, 0 means they didn't do anything, and 8 is like fantabulous, over and above, crazy good. 5 is considered like generally high quality, mastery. Now, when we come to the end of a course, we will give a final score that's between 1 and 7. So zeros are out, eights are out. But students can have criteria scores of 0 or 8, and that will come into play as you see here. At the end of the course, we'll give a final score. And like IB says, we have to score summatively twice on each criteria. This is given to us by IB2. This is mandated. So these scoring boundaries are not something that we came up with, but IB says this is what we need to use. So we will give a final score by adding together the 4 criteria that a student earns throughout the year. And then we will check them by the scoring boundaries. So if I did my math right, this student who scored a 5, a 7, a 4, and an 8 on all those criteria, they scored 24, and that would give them a 6 as a final score. Now you will get a spreadsheet that has these formulas all, already preloaded. So you won't have to sit there and do the math for all of these. But where this could cause a problem for students is when they are, especially those students who are high level students who really care about getting the highest scores, to get a 7, it's important to note that IB scoring boundaries in effect will round it down. So in order to get a 7, they need to either have a few 8s in their final score criterion or score all 7s. So as you noted, this is a student I had last year who scored a 7, 6, 7, 7, and their final score in the IB scoring boundaries was a 27 or a 6. So when we think about that best fit score, we as teachers get to decide where the criteria are by looking at all of our data, but we need to use those IB scoring boundaries as we're giving that final score. Now, sometimes whenever we have a real question about it, we want to go back to our IB general grade descriptors, and that's what I have here. So when we're looking at the difference between a 6 and a 7, in a 6, that's occasionally innovative work, where a 7 would be frequently innovative. Consistently demonstrating sophisticated and critical and creative thinking, and then frequently transferring knowledge. And so that's why it's really a high bar for students to get into that 7 area. So something for you to think about. We want to begin with the end in mind as we are talking through IB scoring with our students and our parents this year.